A house for $5,000 in the United States. Not a shed, not a timeshare. An actual house with walls, a roof, and a deed. You'd think it's a scam from 1953. But it's happening right now. You're not supposed to know this, but there are real American towns where you can buy an entire home for less than a used Honda Civic. Real towns, real people, and really weird reasons why prices fell harder than blockbuster stock. But here's the thing. These towns aren't just cheap. They come with baggage. Haunted railroad tunnels, axe murder history, entire zip codes being quietly bought up by Wall Street. This isn't surface-level Zillow browsing. This is the dark web of American real estate. So why would anyone live there? What nobody tells you is that some of these places are making a genuine comeback. Others are still cursed. One town on this list literally gives land away for free if you're brave enough to live with what's buried underneath. And trust me, you are not ready for what's next. Wait until you hear about the town where buying property might mean inheriting a ghost. Or worse, a tourist attraction. This isn't a dream. It's not a scam. It's the reality nobody talks about. So let's break it down. Number 1, Detroit, Michigan. You can literally buy a house in Detroit for less than a year of Starbucks runs. Not in Monopoly. Real Detroit. Actual deed in hand. The Motor City. The place that put the world on wheels and then drove straight into a brick wall of economic collapse. Once a booming industrial beast, Detroit is now home to some of the cheapest real estate in the country. And yes, it feels like a scam. But it's not. People still live here. Some even thrive. It's got that weird, raw energy. Grit. Guts. A startup scene trying to rise from the ruins like a hipster phoenix. Here's where things get spicy. In some neighborhoods, the median home price is under $10,000. The vacancy rate is over 20%. That means entire blocks are just there. Empty. Waiting. Creepy. And yet, rent prices are climbing. Detroit's cost of living is 9% below the national average, but utilities are higher, and you will need security cameras. The violent crime rate is a whopping 1,965 per 100,000 people. That's about 5 times the national average. But here's the twist. New businesses are popping up. Ford is back in town. Tech hubs are quietly testing the waters. People on Reddit say stuff like this. Detroit isn't scary. It's just honest. You know exactly what kind of day you're going to have when you wake up and your car is still there. Buying cheap in Detroit is easy. Living there is a different game. You'll either become a community hero or your mailbox will get stolen. Seriously. And let's talk potholes for a second. Detroit roads don't have potholes. They have miniature craters. I once saw one eat a Prius. Some locals fill them with soil and grow tomatoes. True story. Welcome to urban farming. And the thing nobody tells you is this. Detroit doesn't want your pity. It wants your hustle. Move there, and you're not just buying a house. You're joining a strange, scrappy urban experiment. Now, let's talk about the town that makes Detroit look like a gentrified coffee shop. Buffalo, New York. Yes, Buffalo. The city of lake effect snow and chicken wings, so good they start fights. But here's what the travel brochures won't print. You can still buy a solid brick house in Buffalo for under $50,000. Not a gut rehab, a livable house. And the reason is simple. The economy left, the snow stayed, and everyone panicked. But something shifted. Buffalo is quietly becoming the weird comeback kid of the Rust Belt. The median home price is still laughably low compared to the national average, around $70,000 in many zip codes. But rent is rising fast. Investors are circling, and the city just announced a massive plan to tear down vacant buildings and replace them with affordable housing, which sounds great until you realize that affordable housing is what got them into this mess in the first place. Buffalo has a crime rate that will make you lock your doors twice. Property crime is high. Car break-ins are routine. And winter? Winter is not a season. It's a psychological event. We're talking feet of snow, gray skies for months, and a wind chill that makes your face feel like a stolen identity. But the locals don't complain. They just put on another layer and keep moving. That's the Buffalo way. And here's the secret. Buffalo has incredible architecture. Gorgeous old homes that would cost $2 million in Brooklyn. You can buy them here for the price of a used minivan. The art scene is legit. The food is underrated. And the people are the kind of honest that scares tourists. They'll tell you exactly what they think of your jacket, to your face. So why isn't everyone moving to Buffalo? Because the jobs aren't great. The taxes are high. And the city still smells like regret and Cheerios from the old General Mills plant. But for the right person, someone who doesn't need sunshine or a booming tech sector, Buffalo is a gold mine. You just have to survive the first winter. Most don't. Now let's get truly cursed. Gary, Indiana. If Detroit is the dark horse and Buffalo is the plucky underdog, Gary is the abandoned carnival that nobody remembers. Gary was built by U.S. Steel. It was a company town, a dream of smokestacks and paychecks. Then the steel industry collapsed, and Gary collapsed with it. But unlike other cities that found a second act, Gary just stayed down. Today, you can buy a house in Gary for literally $5,000. Not a fixer-upper. A whole house. Sometimes with furniture still inside. Sometimes with the previous owner's mail still on the floor. It's post-apocalyptic. Entire neighborhoods are just gone. Trees growing through living rooms. Streets that don't lead anywhere. It's the closest thing to a ghost town that still has a city government. The crime rate in Gary is astronomical. Violent crime is nearly 6 times the national average. Property crime is a given. You don't leave anything outside. You don't leave anything inside. You don't really leave your car running unless you want to watch it drive away without you. But here's the twist. Gary has a national park. The Indiana Dunes. Beautiful beaches, miles of trails, and affordable access to Lake Michigan. You can buy a dirt-cheap house, walk to a world-class natural wonder, and then walk back to a neighborhood that looks like a zombie movie. People are moving to Gary. Slowly. Artists looking for space. Remote workers who don't need local jobs. And the city is actually trying. They're demolishing abandoned buildings. They're offering tax breaks. But the truth is, Gary is not for beginners. You need a certain mindset, a certain toughness, a certain acceptance that you might hear gunshots and just go back to your movie. The real dark secret about Gary isn't the crime. It's the isolation. You are on your own. There are no coffee shops opening at 6. No grocery stores with organic kale. You will drive 30 minutes for everything. And in winter, with the wind coming off the lake, you will question every decision that led you there. But if you can handle that, you can own a house for less than a laptop. Now, let's talk about the town that gives land away. Free. No joke. Camden, New Jersey. For years, Camden was the punchline of every bad joke about American cities. Dangerous. Poor. Burnt out. But Camden did something desperate. They started giving away vacant lots for $1. Sometimes free if you promise to build something. And people took the deal. Today, you can still find houses in Camden for under $50,000. They won't be pretty, they won't be safe, but they will be yours. The city is seeing a weird renaissance. The waterfront is being redeveloped. The aquarium brings in tourists. And right across the river is Philadelphia, with all its jobs and culture. You can live in Camden for pennies and work in Philly for dollars. But here's the fine print. Camden still has one of the highest crime rates in America. Violent crime is brutal. The schools are struggling, and the free land comes with strings attached. You have to build within 18 months. You have to maintain the property. You have to live there, not just flip it. The city learned from past mistakes. Investors came in, took the free lots, and did nothing. Now Camden checks. Hard. And yet, people are staying. Community gardens are popping up. Block clubs are forming. There's a resilience in Camden that you don't see in richer towns. Because nobody in Camden is pretending. Nobody has a facade. What you see is what you get. Broken sidewalks, honest neighbors, and the occasional fireworks that might just be fireworks. The real reason to consider Camden isn't the price. It's the proximity. You are 10 minutes from one of the biggest cities on the East Coast. You have transit. You have opportunity. And you have a house that costs less than a wedding. A bad wedding, sure, but still. So here's where we land. These towns aren't for everyone. They're not for people who need perfect schools and Whole Foods and quiet cul-de-sacs. They're for the restless, The broke, the brave, the ones who look at a $5,000 house and see not a trap, but a door. Every single one of these places has a catch: crime, weather, isolation, decaying infrastructure. But they also have something that expensive cities lost: possibility. You can actually own something. You can actually make a difference. You can buy a block, fix a house, start a garden, and become the weird neighbor who saves a street. Detroit wants your hustle. Buffalo wants your winter coat. Gary wants your acceptance. Camden wants your commitment. None of them want your pity. And none of them are for the faint of heart. So if you're tired of renting a closet for $2,000 a month, if you're tired of watching other people buy their third investment property, if you're tired of being priced out of your own zip code, maybe look at the map differently. Look at the places everyone left. Look at the towns that broke and never got fixed. Because in those towns, your dollar still means something. Your effort still counts. And your house doesn't cost $1 million. It costs $5,000. That's not a dream. That's not a scam. That's just America refusing to give up, even in the places everyone forgot.